Hello, everyone. I am Jeremy Rochford, and welcome to another episode of Talk Speaker to Me. Today, we're going to discuss these seven things you absolutely need to consider before going full time as a speaker. And I cannot emphasize this enough how important it is to have a plan, to have a strategy to go full time. Now, don't get me wrong. I am one of the biggest of dreamers. I am truly one of those people who says, shoot for the stars. Like, just absolutely do it. Because if you don't, or if you don't get to where you thought you'd go, you're still going to get further ahead than if you didn't plan at all. But here is the biggest problem: most people don't plan. They get super emotional, which is cool. Love the emotions, but they just go. And the problem is when you just go, there are things that you could have planned for that come up that could really derail you. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to give you the 7 steps that you need to elevate through. You need to ask yourself these questions. Am I doing this? Am I accomplishing this? And if you answer yes to all 7, then my friend, it's time for you to go full time. But also what's great is if you're not doing some of these, then you need to start doing them because they are going to help you get full time faster. So here are the 7 things you need to do, that you need to consider, that you need to say yes to even think about going full time. You ready? Right. Good. Here we go. Question number 1 you have to ask yourself: do I have something I can charge for? Now, this seems very rudimentary, but this is where I completely failed and stalled my career for a good 2 to 3 years. Because when I lost 200 pounds, people were like, "This is amazing. You should tell me more." And I told them more about my story, and no one really cared. The consensus was, "That's good for you. What am I going to do with this?" And so what I had to realize was I needed to solve a problem. I actually had to sell them a solution because, yeah, you can entertain, but people need something to take home. People need something to apply to their lives. And what I realized was I not only had to solve a problem for them, but I had to do it in a way that made sense to where they're at. So the first thing you have to ask yourself is, do I actually have something I can charge for? Do I have a problem I solve? Am I clear with what problem I solve? And more importantly, am I clear on the audience that I'm solving it for? So for me, I helped busy professionals lose weight without having to starve themselves or join a gym. All right, boom. I've got a problem to solve. Individuals who are busy professionals looking to lose weight, who don't have the time to join a gym and don't want to starve themselves. That's what I do. I have people now. I've got a problem that they have. I can solve it. Good. Number 1, check. Number 2, you have to ask yourself, once you actually have something you can charge for, is, will someone pay me for this? And I know what you're thinking, like, yeah, but like a lot of speakers speak for free. And so the answer is no. but like, joking aside, you have something that you can charge for, but will they actually pay you? And there's 2 litmus tests that you have to take this idea through. Will they first pay you with time? Meaning, will they actually give you a stage? Because there are some people who have ideas that can't even get the stage for free. That should be your first thought, that maybe this is not the idea for you. But once you have the bandwidth and the equity built up of people are giving me the stage for free, that's fantastic. People are at least paying you time. You then have to ask yourself, will they pay me money? That's where it starts to get a little bit harder, but that's where you can start escalating your ask. Okay, people are paying me the time. Will they pay me with a gift card? Will they pay me $100? Will they pay me gas money? Will they pay me $200? And when you start consistently getting those asks, then you've conquered number 2. So number 1, do I have something I can charge for? Number 2, will people pay me for that with either their time or their money? Money also being a gift card. Once you pass those two things, number 3, will people pay me what I want? Now, don't get me wrong. I love me some Panera gift cards, but I can't. I mean, look, I can't buy books. I can't buy things with on this awesome bookshelf. I can't pay for electricity. I can't pay for all these things with gift cards. So I have to get to a point where I can ask for 500. I can ask for 1,000. I can ask for 2,000. I can ask for 5,000. But I have to get to the point where people will actually pay me what I want. And I may be asking for 5, but they keep giving me $200. Well, then there's something that's amiss. There's something that is off. But you have to start asking and getting what you're asking for to move on to the next part, which is number 4. Will they pay me consistently and predictably? So we've already covered, do you have an idea you can charge for? Do you have something they'll actually pay you for? Are they paying you for it? Will they then pay you what you want? Now, will they pay you what you want consistently? And this is where some of the challenge starts to happen, because someone will get a $5,000 gig once and they'll be like, this is amazing. I'm going full time. But the challenge is that one $5,000 gig may not happen again for another 3-6 months. And don't get me wrong, like if that meets your budgetary needs, fantastic. But if you need to make 5,000 a month and you're only making that once every 6 months, then you need to start to say, okay, well, how can I get myself to where I'm being paid consistently and predictably? So we're halfway there. Step number 1, do I have something to charge for? Step number 2, will people pay me for this idea? Step number 3, will they pay me what I want for this? Step number 4, will they pay me what I want consistently and predictably? Once you get here and people are paying you what you're asking for consistently, then you enter stage number 5, which is what I call the beautiful tension. And the beautiful tension is that place where speaking is still a side hustle, and maybe you're working 10 hours a week at this. But in that 10 hours a week, you're making roughly 25% of your income that you would need. Let's use round numbers to bring this to life. Say you want to make $100,000 as a speaker, and you're still working your full-time job, but in your mood lighting, in your extra 10 hours a week, you're making $25,000 with your speaking career. Well, now you've got this tension because for a quarter of the effort, you're making a quarter of your salary, which mathematically would beg, if I do this full time and give 40 hours instead of 10, then mathematically I should make $100,000 and have the career that I want. And the reason why I call this a beautiful tension is you've got to be smart about this. You can't just have 1 or 2 months and then go, we're here. You've got to be smart about this. You've got to experience that beautiful tension, because that's proof of concept. That's growth, that uncomfortability of like, if I could just do this more. But that's beautiful, because that's why I call it the beautiful tension. It's beautiful because it shows you've got proof of concept. That's step number 5. Step number 6 is, are you experiencing this beautiful tension for 6 to 12 months? Like I said, 1 month of this is great. But if you have one amazing month and then 5 months of dormancy, that's not much of a career. But if this month you're making 25% of your salary, and next month you're making 35, and then the month after that you're down to 22, and then the month after that you're at 30, 33, you're starting to piece together proof of concept that I can do this predictably. I can do this sustainably. And once you've hit that 6-month mark of this beautiful tension, you can start to go like, yeah, this has been 6 months. I've got the processes. I've got the practices. Like I'm pretty good to go. Once you hit that 6 to 12 month mark of the beautiful tension, then you have to go to number 7 and ask yourself, have I considered all of the outcomes? Meaning, if I quit my job and I go full time as a speaker, have I considered the ramifications of the travel on my lifestyle? Do I have kids at home that I want to see? Do I have a wife who wants to see me a lot or a partner who wants to see me a lot? Do I have family? Like, is there a sick mother at home? Is there a father who needs me? Are there other people in my life who need me at home? So maybe I can't do 120 shows a year. What about the future? Do you want this? A lot of people get into speaking and they're like, I want to be a full time speaker. And then they realize with the layovers and the cancellations of air flights and all, like, there's a lot that people don't know that comes along with this lifestyle that when they do it for a while, they're like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. But then there's other people who are like, this is amazing. Like, I need more of this. Like, this is my love language. But you need to actually think about the outcomes of what does life as a full-time speaker look like for you? Is this something you want to make for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years of your life? After you've considered this, then in my mind, you're absolutely prepared to the best of your ability to go full time. So let's run through that. These are the 7 things you need to ask yourself and you need to know and answer yes to know that it's time to go full time as a speaker. Step 1, do I have something I can charge for? Step 2, will someone pay me for this idea, whether it's through time or money? Step 3, will people pay me what I want them to pay me? Step 4, will people pay me what I want them to pay me consistently and predictably? Step 5, have I gotten to that beautiful tension where in 10 hours a week, I'm making 25% of my income and I've absolutely got proof of concept that if I just 4x this, I will make what I am making now. Number 6, have I experienced that beautiful tension for 6 to 12 months? And step number 7, have I considered all the outcomes of what going full time looks like for me? If you've done those 7 things, then you, my friend, have gone through all the stages to know this is the time to go full time. And if you've not and you're stuck on one of those, then that's okay. Adjust your expectations, dig into what's in front of you, and do the next best step. Thank you for listening to Talk Speaker to Me. This is Jeremy Rochford. I'm Jeremy Rochford. Thanks for listening. I look forward to seeing you on the speaking trail. Have an amazing rest of your day.